we're gonna start off with r/true off my chest because
God.
I saw one that really stood out to me. Got a vasectomy. Now I have a superpower? 2 question marks.
Why is this
Snip, snap, snip, snap, snip, snap. You have no idea the toll that 3 vasectomies have on a person.
Oh my god. Now I have a superpower? Oh my god.
I know. I, a 33-year-old male, got my vasectomy last year after having 3 children. My wife told me I had to. LOL. Oh man, was I scared shitless after watching 100 plus YouTube videos on the matter. Nonetheless, it wasn't necessarily the pain I was afraid of, but rather how it could affect your sex life. People complain of numbness or not being able to get off anymore, which makes me nervous. Well, after a year and a shitty shirt for my wife, my new ability, so to speak, is that now I can come on. Whether that's a gift or a curse, I still can't put my thumb on it. I mean, clearly you can. Am I right? Oh god,
am I right, guys?
It's no longer a matter of damn, that feels good. It's either the session is taking too long or my wife is spent and tells me to climax with her. Is this worth bitching about? I'm not saying I'm a stud now by no means, but sex isn't the same for me now. I feel like I've fallen under the notion of being numb, I guess. It's hard to explain. I jokingly told my buddies not to get the procedure, giving them my experience. They laughed and say they wish they had that ability. Anyone else here go through changes after a vasectomy?
I just love the part where he's like, and then my wife spent, and she tells me to just finish off. Like, dog, you can tell this is taking like a total mental toll on this guy's life.
God. Ever since the procedure, everything is different now. I'm not the same man I was.
I used to be able to last 5 minutes, now I can last 9. What is this?
It's too long, and I ain't talking about.
Oh my god! I get. See, now he needs to get crazy. Now he needs to take some Viagra and see what's really gonna happen. Oh my god!
Speedrun sex. Like by doing that.
Can you imagine him just like walking into the doctor and being like, "Doc, okay, I need to ask you something."
No, Doc, like, just between you and I, bro to bro, heart to heart here.
Men in the room.
Now I got the old ball and chain off me. We can talk about this.
No, and then he says it, and the doc's like, "I don't believe it." He's like, "Well, I can show you right now." Like, give me 2 seconds in the bathroom, and I will show you.
Another one I was listening to was this guy talking about how he got cysts on his ass, and his boss didn't believe him. So he literally, he spread his ass cheeks and like took a picture of it. And the funniest thing was when he was describing it, like he had to do it by himself, so he had to set a timer on his phone. And then he went
cheeks,
and then he went onto the computer to print it out. and then he brings it in with the doctor's note, and then he shows his boss, and his boss is like, didn't believe me. He's like, I'm so sorry, I didn't know.
It's like, yeah. Oh, it's all fun and games until you got a little butt picture on your fucking front desk, isn't it?
So the replies to this guy's name is Sir Butt Savage. Dude's a nut bender.
I'm a nut bender. I can't, bro. I fucking can't. Oh my god. He's a nut bender. He's the 5th fucking form.
I love this whole thread is just a bunch of jokes. Everything changed when the Seaman Nation attacked. None of the other nations saw it coming until it hit them right in the face.
Jesus fucking Christ.
They came from behind. Oh man, this like goes on forever. So yeah, there's not even like, yeah, he's the asshole for being able to come more. Yeah, that's just crazy. So, oh man, I like saved 4 of them. Let's go with this one. This is an interesting one. Am I the asshole for not letting my daughter control the thermostat? Context: we're from the UK. Boo! Already the asshole. Just off that. I am struggling to see why we are the assholes as deemed by my parents and sister. My husband uses Reddit and thought this sub would provide a third insight that we're missing. Major family trauma. Let's go to Reddit now.
First of all, your husband using Reddit is a red flag. Continue, though.
My husband, 42-year-old male, and I, 40-year-old female, have 2 daughters, Jane, 22, female, and Lisa, 5-year-old female. This concerns Jane, who has been struggling with the cold. Jane started to complain about the temperature of the house. Now it's no longer summertime. Currently, we leave the central heating off all the time apart from in the early morning, 5 to 7 a.m., so Lisa doesn't get too cold when she is awake. My husband and I don't have an issue with the temperature of the house. It's approximately 16 degrees. I don't know what that equals to in Fahrenheit. At night, I think it's 60 Fahrenheit. At night across all of the bedrooms since we checked in case her room was draftier. We don't really feel it and do not see where Jane is coming from. Jane complains and says she wears multiple layers to bed and around the house while we are all asleep. So she asked if she could have access to the thermostat in order to switch the heating on at a higher temperature than 18 degrees. The whole thing, funny thing about this is my family, we keep our whole house incredibly cold. We keep it at 18 degrees. Like that's average for us. I think that's low 60s for Fahrenheit. Okay. She wants to raise it to 21 degrees, but we said no. She keeps complaining about how she has to wear 4 layers to bed so she doesn't feel cold in the morning. Lisa says it isn't cold when we ask her. My husband and I also don't feel the cold, so we said no to her asking and thought that would put an end to it. It did not. We had dinner at we had dinner at my parents' house in which Jane was making comments about how warm and toasty her grandparents' house was. My parents were shocked that we didn't allow her access to the thermostat, and they tried to sway us into giving her access because it isn't right for her to sleep in multiple layers. My sister also agreed with them and said my daughter has valid points since the temperature is starting to drop in the night. Oh, hi, Stevie. Are we wrong here? Hello, everyone, and thank you. Okay, so this is, I guess, like an update or edit. Hello, everyone, and thank you for all your feedback. I did not realize there were so many reasons as to why my daughter potentially could be cold, and that layering may not work in those cases. We reached a compromise with our daughter. She can have a small heater for her room with a timer, so I'm 100% sure it is not left on overnight for my own peace of mind. We are also going to buy her heavier duvet and thicker mattress topper to prevent cold from underneath the bed. Thank you all.
I just love how it's like, we're not going to turn it up. We're going to get you a little heater.
I'm pretty sure, like, wouldn't that be... I don't know if it, like, makes a drastic difference, but, like, wouldn't it just be easier to turn up the heat? Like I said earlier, like, my family, we keep our house pretty cold, but we like it that way. Like, we all together are like, yeah, we can live with the house being colder, so that way, you know, we're not too hot and we don't use up much of the heat, but not every family is the same. Like, pretty much every sleepover I went to when I was younger, like, houses would, especially in the winter in Canada, the houses would get so freaking hot and I would have so much trouble sleeping. Like, I remember when we were in Nashville, like, we kept the air conditioning on the whole time. That's how I like it. I like going to...
Well, it's also cold. Summertime in Nashville.
Yeah,
there's like a heat advisory.
It's like 100
so
degrees.
Kind of had to.
Yeah,
like...
yeah, exactly. But, like, it could get hot here in Edmonton. Like, it could get that too. Like, it can get pretty hot here. But not every family is different, though.
I'm sorry. I'm just looking at Stevie behind you. Stands the fuck up looking at the door.
Yeah, that's my new wig. It's Stevie.
Oh my god. It's so funny.
So yeah, you are the asshole. Like, maybe, like, come with a like, again, it sounds like they came up with a compromise, a stupid compromise at that. Like, you don't even have to, like, let your daughter have control over the thermostat. Like, set a thing where it's like, okay, we'll raise it to, I don't know, 18, 19 degrees or whatever. But, like, let the parents control that and not the kids. So, you know, she's not doing it at random. But, like, if your kids are cold, like, raise the freaking heat up. Like, I don't think it gets that cold. Like, they're in the UK. I don't think it gets that cold in England where you're constantly having to have the temperature on. And again, like, I'm of the perspective, like, I can just throw on a sweater or whatever. Like, I can layer up. Like, I'm fine. But, like, it's not different family.
Can't
like,
layer down. You can always layer up.
Yeah, that is true. But, like, freaking, I don't know. Like, let's read the comments here. You're the asshole. 16...
Let's read the comments. You're an asshole.
16 Celsius to 60 Fahrenheit, or even 18 Celsius to 64 Fahrenheit is too cold for most folks. Not me, though. Just because you're fine. But this is the point right here. Just because you're fine doesn't mean it's reasonable to expect her to be miserably freezing. I see you're not interested in keeping the heat on consistently either, so that's miserable for her as well. Why do you think she should suffer so you can save a few dollars on the power bill? Also, the things most folks are suggesting, heating blankets, space heaters, actually use more electric than just keeping your house a comfortable and consistent temperature. That's what I mean. Like, I don't think it's like a cataclysmic difference where you're draining your battery bill if you get like heaters or whatever, but like you probably save money still by just using your furnace in your house. Like, I don't get that.
100%.
Expecting her to have 4+ layers to be moderately warm is unreasonable. Absolutely. Some more comments. It's interesting to me that no one has noticed his comments about turning up the heat so the 5-year-old is comfortable, but who cares about the 22-year-old? You're the asshole.
Yeah, just does not sound like a fun situation.
Like, it's not like this kid is spoiled and it's like, oh, I want to get this like new toy or what. I'm pretty sure she's 22 anyway. Not that matters, but it's not like it's a spoiled kid like asking for something unreasonable. It's the freaking heat. Like, you shouldn't have to. Again, like, you should probably still have 2 blankets with you if it's getting a little colder, but like, you should also be able to have the heat go on, like eating your cake, having your cake and eating it too, kind of thing.
Freaking
yeah, they're the assholes.
Yeah, it's just common courtesy. Like, God, and it's your fucking kid too. Like, your kid's gonna grow to hate you. Like,
she's already 22, and
she already probably does hate you.
Yeah.
Nice.
Here's the next one. Am I the asshole for telling my date that I don't like country music?
Dude, real. Oh, I can't wait to hear this one. Let's go.
I, 18 female, went on a date with a guy from my university. We did normal things like getting to know each other. It went great until he asked me if I liked country music. I told him, not really. I've never been much of a fan of it. He said, oh, why do you like it? And got snappy with me. I said, never really thought about it, but I just don't like the way it sounds. We continued eating, and about 5 minutes later, he says to me, I only asked because I got us tickets to a local country band, but since you hate country music so much, ... I didn't say anything else because I did just tell him that I don't like country music. We finished our meals and split the bill. I told my friend, and she told me, you wouldn't get it since you're from Illinois, but here, Kentucky people take country music seriously, especially the boys. Am I the asshole here? You Illinois people would not.
Boys.
You Illinois people would get it down here. We're just different in Kentucky here, especially the boys.
I just love how like he didn't even ask her if she wanted to go to the concert. He's just like, I bought these tickets. You have to go.
Well, I bought these tickets already. You're telling me you don't want to go? Huh?
Oh my God.
Yeah. First question, not the asshole. It's a huge red flag. He's attempting to make you feel bad for normal preference, especially since country music sucks.
Real.
Oh my God. The reply, old country has some great music, which I agree with. I actually love old country music. I don't like new country music. Like, I love
new country music just talks about how I want to fuck my girl.
That's literally
apparently.
In that comment. It's like today's country is largely Jimmy Buffett with a twang.
That's my type of country there, Failer.
Then he
don't worry, because I bet you that dude fucking loves Morgan Wallen. And I bet he goes to all them racist concerts every day of the week. Fucking give me a break. And like, listen, if you like country music, it's nothing against you. It's just not my cup of tea.
I feel country music, it's one of those divisive things. Either you love it or you hate it.
Yeah, I can tolerate it.
The door. Oh my God.
Stevie's like, I run this. Stevie's like, I run this city now.
There we go.
Me! Oh,
Okay,
gosh.
I actually like old country music. I don't like old country or like new country. Like I like me some Johnny Cash. I like some Dolly Parton. I like me some Hank Williams, who is like the OG country music country person that like country music. Like he did stuff in the 40s and 50s. Like I like that stuff. Personally, I'm not fond of the new country music, but you know, it's one of those things you gotta like it or you hate it. But yeah, like just the thought of like I'm gonna buy his tickets. You don't like country music? What? Like if that's a disagreement, if that's something that bothers you so much, like you shouldn't be in a relationship.
Don't worry, you'll find yourself someone who loves country music. Don't worry. And trust me, you'll find someone that won't be so fucking shallow.
You know what, boy? Go down.
Because remember, he'll never understand what it's like to be from Illinois. He's from fucking Kentucky.
I was gonna say, get away from them Illinois girls. Go down to Kentucky. Treat you some of that Kentucky women, ladies.
We'll take him down to O Block and see what he thinks.
That's what everyone sounded like once we got to Nashville. Like that waitress.
Everyone's got that southern twang.
That southern twang, which I actually like the southern twang. Well, I remember
southern hospitality is very real.
It is.
Don't let anyone tell you otherwise.
Like especially at Waffle House, that lady, she's like, "Hi, can I take your order?"
It's a Waffle Home, baby. That's why.
It's not just a Waffle House. It's a Waffle Home. It is so.
It's like church.
Did you say it's like church? It's the house of God. You're so right.
I'm texting that to Nick. Oh, God.
It's the house of Christ and God.
It's the house of the Lord.
House of our
otherwise
Lord
known as my grits.
So we got a couple more to go, then we'll end it off. Am I the asshole for taking all credit for a group project and failing the first?
Let's go.
Let's go. Am I the asshole for taking credit of a group project and failing the others in the group? I, 15-year-old male, had a group project with some others in my class. The project was about the timeline of Sweden's economy during the 21st century, presented in a 5 to 10 minute long video. So we're dealing with people from Kentucky and Illinois who've gone across the Atlantic. We in Sweden now, looks like. Because I'm looking at the names here. I was paired with Gustav, 15-year-old male, Fiona, 15-year-old female, and Alice, 14-year-old female, who are all known for being late, sick, or not working. The first days were, as expected, not very active. Even I did nothing. I realized that I would have had to do something about it and called them about it. They all accused me of trying to push the responsibility of the project onto them so I wouldn't have to do anything. After this, I just began researching about the topic and all that jazz so that we could get somewhere. I made a group chat with them and asked, "Hey, I need you guys to pull your weight a little and actually work for once." And they ignored it. All I got was a meme 2 hours later from Gustav. Oh, that's silly Gustav. Just sending memes.
Not doing his work.
Ha, he's a silly Gustav.
Oh!
Wow. I just began laying out and planning the shots for the video. A week before the project was due, I tried talking to them about hanging around after school to work on the project since it was going to be a big part of our grade, but I couldn't get their attention since afterward they didn't come to the designated place where we would do it, the library. I finished the shots for the video and began editing it and recording voiceover when my friend called and asked how it was going. Pretty shit. My group partners have bailed on me and all work is on me. So yeah, I responded. He told me that that's what all people in Sweden sound like, by the way. I would know, you know. He told me that my group partners who were supposed to be helping me with the project had gone out partying. I was livid hearing about this and vented at my friend for a bit until I just hung up.
Oh my God, is that an Among Us reference? He vented.
Oh my God. He's sus. Yeah, that's funny.
I'm sorry.
It took 3 days for my OCT to let the video be acceptable to show. To solve the person problem, I just edited another one of me in those shots where it was necessary. I do a lot of editing, so I know this stuff. But then I realized something. I decide what goes in the video. In the credits of the video, I put my name on everything and my partner's name on did absolutely nothing. The day of the presentation came and I played the video when my partner's just looking at their phones. Whenever I was on screen twice, I heard the occasional giggle and the room erupted with laughter from everyone when the credits rolled. Before we even, like, there's still a bit to go. That's fucking legend shit. Like, there is no, like, greater feelings than, like, making your class laugh or, like, going to work and making your coworkers laugh. Like, it's like that meme. It's like feelings that give you power, and it's just like money, and like, and then it's just like making people in the room laugh. After the presentations, my partners pulled me aside and told me, "You asshole," and went to the teacher. I explained my side of the story, and I got the equivalent of an A, and my partners got to redo the entire project. I think I acted accordingly, but my partners think I'm an asshole for failing them. I can see their point of view, but I never lied about anything, and I told them that they needed to help out. Am I the asshole?
No, you're not the asshole. I've done this in 2 separate projects in college. Like, literally, you're not the asshole. They can learn the hard way. Like, don't really feel bad for that. Like,
it's not as if, like...
I don't need to be your fucking babysitter, especially since it sounds like they're kids. This has happened to me in college or grown-ass fucking adults. Like, don't need to feel bad. Sorry.
No, not at all.
You made your bed.
Especially that the teacher apparently offered to, like, let them do the project again. So it's not like that was it. They don't get a grade at all. Like, they still can fix that. Like, it's not like this guy just goes to them and be like, okay, project's done, and I didn't include your guys' name in that. Like, he gave them plenty of chances to have them figure out their shit, and they didn't. So again, like you said, it's not like they're in college or anything, but like they're 14 and 15-year-olds. They will learn that, but like
they should. Those kids should just be lucky they didn't get a 0, because they'll learn once they get older. You'll get a 0, or you'll get fucking punished for doing shit like that.
Yeah.
So
that's a moment for them to learn. But no, not the asshole. If anything, you are the legend, my good sir, for making yeah.
You did exactly what you should have done. And I don't I don't feel bad for anyone when that happens. Like, you should have fucking done your work and not made someone do a group project that's made for 4 people.
Yeah, if anything, like he was like, I could see their point, and he's like, no, they have no. And someone in the comments like, no, they have no point. They did nothing and received their nothing grade. The only point they have is that you took an action that harmed them. The problem is that's false. Now, as to your credit addition, yeah, maybe that falls under the petty revenge category, and I could understand, well, completely not giving a shit why that bothered them. But since they're more mad about you failing them, I'd say you're in the clear. You didn't fail them; they failed themselves. Yep. And then again, like back to they got to do it again. The reply is like, they got another chance though, so they technically didn't even fail. So wrong on both fronts.
They should have failed, but that's just my 2 cents.
Yeah, like again,
I've had that happen too many times. Like we literally did the presentation, and we walked in that day, and the 2 guys who didn't do shit started messaging us on the PowerPoint. They're like, "What do you want me to do?" And it's just like, we already did something. You need to figure it out on your own. Then the guy failed. It's not my problem. Don't be a fucking idiot.
I missed the part where that's my problem.
Literally, like me and my partner, she and I did not care whatsoever. It was like, fuck it, we're gonna get good grades. And guess what? We got a fucking A. That's how that works.
Fucking A.
And the best part is, when you get older, they'll ask you how much people did in the group, and they'll give them a grade accordingly. So,
now like. Bring this up. It's 14 and 15-year-old. These people will learn. It's not as much at stake. But yeah, if you're doing that in college, that shit won't fly in college. Yeah, I haven't gone to college or university, but I would know that. Like,
you're not gonna fuck my grade out because you're lazy. Get the fuck out of here.
Nope. Like if you're not there, if you're not putting the work in, you're not gonna get graded as such. So
thanks. All right, let's do one more.
One more. Hell yeah. Am I the asshole for laughing at my old bully getting rejected? Am I female, 19 years old, the arsehole for laughing at old bully getting rejected? So I think we've gone to the UK, Sweden, and we've done Kentucky and Illinois.
We're all over the place today.
We're all over the map. Last night, I was catching a bus home from university. I live 30 minutes away from university, so I still live at home. Honestly, based living at home as an adult. It was a late-night bus, as I had stayed back late and studied in the library. There wasn't anything unusual about the bus until I started to hear a familiar, annoyingly squeaky voice talking at the back of the bus. I looked behind to see it was a girl who had bullied me relentlessly throughout secondary school, sat with a guy who had bullied me during primary school. To make this an easier read, I'll call her Missy and him Bill. My headphones had died whilst I was studying, so I couldn't help but eavesdrop on their conversation. I pretty quickly realized that Missy was flirting with Bill and kept suggesting that they needed to go out sometime and that they needed to make a date. Bill was clearly not into her, but his friend kept egging Missy on. I started to feel quite bad for Bill, even if he was a little shit through school. Missy just wouldn't stop trying, and his friend was making it get even worse. Whilst this was all happening, I was texting a group chat of my friends everything they were saying and desperately trying not to laugh at what I was overhearing. Missy is very disliked by our friendship group whilst we were still at school. She slept with one of their boyfriends, called one racist slurs, suggested that one of them had been deported after having a week off to travel to her grandparents' funeral, and outed me as a lesbian to my parents on my own birthday. So they were all finding it out amusing as I was. I was trying my hardest to hold back my laughter as the group chat were making jokes, and Missy was getting rejected again and again, but not taking the hint. Missy finally broke me when Bill once again said no, and her comeback to being rejected was, "But I have a fat bunda." Parentheses, for all those outside of the UK, a fat bunda would be a large bottom. I burst out laughing, making myself snort as I continued laughing. I turned around to apologize whilst trying to hold back my laugh, but Missy was glaring at me, and Bill looked like he wanted to be anywhere but the bus at the moment. Missy then began screaming at me and stormed off the top deck down to the bottom deck for the rest of the bus journey. I feel bad for laughing at her.
Double-decker bus.
Yeah, I feel bad for laughing at her and making Bill feel even more uncomfortable, but it felt good seeing my old bullies making a fool of themselves. So am I the asshole? No, once again, you're the legend. Like,
you're not the asshole for laughing. This fucking bitch outed you on your birthday. Like, that's terrible.
That's the thing. Like, bullying. The thing about bullying is it's repetitive, and it can be at times traumatic for a lot of people. Like, there's times in schools where like kids get into fights and stuff. Like, kids do stupid shit. And like, people change, people mature as they get older. Like, I probably did some stupid stuff when I was little, but I've grown up from that. But bullying someone, like, that's not like being, immature. That's just being an asshole. You're growing up in a family that has taught you, like, hasn't taught you right from wrong. Like, there's probably some mental illnesses, or maybe that's within your family. Like, you probably grew up in a broken home if you're bullying other children. Like, you shouldn't feel bad at all. Like, again, I was never bullied. Like, I can't really speak too much about, like, you should be able to free to laugh at both of them. Like, both these people bullied you, and both of them are super embarrassed, and you get to witness this. I would be laughing my ass off. You are not the asshole.
100%.
And like, again, there's levels to it all. Like, being outed as a lesbian and like calling them racial slurs, and like suggested that one of them had been deported after having a week off to travel to her grandmother's funeral. Like, that's no. You're a horrible person, abusive person, mentally abusive person at that point, and both of them deserve it.
100%.
The replies from the UK, I never ever heard the word bunda before, but hey, every day's a school day. Not the asshole. Serves her right.
Every day's a school day. It's a good one.
It is true. Not the asshole. Anybody who could say that sort of thing out loud on a bus can't expect others around to completely ignore the spectacle that Missy was making. You have the right to not feel sorry for any of them for the reasons you listed, but even total strangers would have a difficult time trying not to laugh at that situation on the bus that you went. I don't know if there's anyone sitting around her. I don't think she specified that, but they're lucky that she was the only one who caught that. Like, because even if there's like a few more people, are you telling me someone else is not recording that?
Oh, literally. You're going to go viral being pathetic. Like, good one.
Totally. Yeah, there's so many replies. And then one of the comments is like, I just want to say living at home at age 19 is so normal. Don't let capitalism convince you to move out of your family home as soon as possible to pad some landlords' pockets. So real.